Sheila here with Sirius Taurus Moon. This is Jupiter, our Saturn night. The ascendant is 0 degree Taurus, ruled by Venus. Moon is applying to conjoin Procyon. Um, Venus and Mars are sextiling Mars in Libra, opposing Chiron and Aries, squaring Jupiter and the Moon, squaring Pluto, in conjunct Saturn, Neptune, and in conjunct Uranus. A little bit of an energy reading. There are a lot of works trying to take somebody's ability to speak or testify. It can even be speak or testify in court. It can be what people call divine or spiritual court. And this is because there is an opposition between the wound around sovereignty, that is included, and the way that Mars is trying to bring balance or bring justice to the situation. And with Venus in Leo, it usually has a trajectory of kind of like a testimony. So there are attempts to prevent certain testimonies and voices from being heard, attempts to do ritual work on the people that are speaking. First of all, it's unnecessary, because when I listen to testimonies of, let's say, ritual abuse survivors and so on, they're very open, they're very heartfelt. Venus is in Leo. It's very open, very heartfelt, acknowledging of the intricacies, addressing the inevitable. Okay, I talked about the Bilderberg's chart. I talked about the invocation of Article 5. I talked about, the many challenges. There are aspects of disruption, but the attempt to try to control what information, again, those things are usually, it's kind of like, hey, you try to make a person not say something, and then they're like, okay, and they say something way worse later. and and the attempts to harm the testimony, or to try to play, to make it look like this, make it look like that, is kind of like, oh, this person is crazy, they're psychotic, they're this. That's like, okay, this is just proof that they were severely and perpetually attacked, and that you're trying to frame them actually frames you in a way that is kinda evidence. The attempts to diminish or make somebody like smaller or look stupid or whatnot. Now with Venus in Leo, it's kind of like the Me Too thing. There were the people that responded to that with the Me Too went too far, blah 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 blah. It's like, Falcon, take somebody offers you, it's like the entire cult-like existence is drowning into a place where everyone in it will not want to live in the upcoming timelines and trajectories. They will not have a heaven on earth while depopulating people, simply because the measures taken are just ruining and it's a treason cult. Let's begin with that, okay? So it ain't like the Nazi war criminals, for example, were having a jolly time in what was it, Argentina. Okay, it's a treason cult. So it's kind of like, hey, if you're in that trajectory, somebody offers you a life-saving trajectory, don't go the Me Too went too far. That's not the time to go the Me Too. When somebody actually talks about the MK Ultra, don't go the Me Too went too far. Somebody actually talks about the intricacy in the ritual abuse, where people also had to perpetuate in the physical trajectories. Not the time to, because it's kind of like if somebody offers you life-saving help, that's not the time to, how should I say that, try to silence those testimonies. If people get caught up in ego entrapment, thinking that, oh, they are losers, they are this, they are that, that they're going to have a more challenging eclipse. Ego is also the sun, okay? It's just going to have a more challenging eclipse vibes. Um, and there's, I get like people, even people, you know the word gaslighting, and I'm kind of getting like people are choking on their gaslighting. That's the, like really, that is, I'm sorry, the sun is in Virgo, and Virgo is very precise and can be very sharp with its wording or phrasing, but it's kind of like the gaslighters are choking on their gaslighting. Now, for what they call the collective, and they try to put it on the speaking people, which indeed backfires. Okay, trying to psychically attack those who speak backfires. Okay, so it's literally feeling like the gaslighters are choking on their gaslighting. And they're trying to even induce vomiting. And again, it's an energy that I saw before. Okay, if something's retrograde or in the shade of retrograde, something's like, oh, Uranus is retrograde. And so the gaslighters are choking on their gaslighting. They try to induce vomiting so that somebody won't digest a certain mineral. And they're choking, they are themselves vomiting or choking on their gaslighting. Again, Sedna, minerals. Sedna, what? Oh, okay, here's another. Sedna is receiving the minerals and absorbing the minerals that they didn't want her to absorb, that the traffickers didn't want her to absorb. And now those that try to traffic Sedna and keep her from absorbing the minerals, which is kind of like a really stupid trajectory, because but those that went on that trajectory basically are going through that experience in some way, even in an energetic way, or you know, they try to make a Sedna vomit the minerals so that she wouldn't absorb them, so that her nervous system wouldn't heal, so that she would be more susceptible to trafficking. And now they're choking on their gaslighting. It literally looks like gassy. Maybe they have a reflux or something like that. Like real, they're really trying hard for Sedna to vomit, but they are vomiting. It's an attempt to rule somebody's intestine muscles and somebody's speech. Like, you know, Machiavelli died of intestine diseases, maybe. And I said we are purging the Machiavellian timelines. Okay, so somebody, either somebody, because I don't get the poison degree here. I don't feel like anybody is genuinely poisoned. I feel they're trying to induce vomiting, or they're trying to induce uh, um, somebody's like choking on their gaslighting, and that causes either reflux or gas to come up. And because Mercury is actually trining Uranus, some people could even be barping, and barping can actually be a good digestion. They try to Somebody tried to fumble with the nervous system around the voice and then around the intestines, but Mercury is trining Uranus, and it's looking like Al-Qaeda is keeping that from happening. People, okay, some people use Al-Qaeda, okay, 26, 27 Virgo, to try to cause disease and misfortune. Those people are experiencing those diseases and misfortune that they try to cause on another. Okay, think about people saying like incantations or words, or trying to hack into the nervous system and induce something with another person. Eventually they end up inducing that on themselves. Mercury also rules Virgo, so if somebody has like a Virgo placement, or did they use somebody with a Virgo placement trying to do that, if that Virgo placement is not aware of that and is not consciously willing for any such thing to happen, then the original sender gets, or it can be that the Virgo is kind of like, hey, I'm stopping that, um, and that goes on the original sender. But anyway, it doesn't reach us, let's say, um, doesn't reach as Pisces, or it doesn't reach as Leo, or okay, it the harm is going back to the original sender. So particularly, you know what I'm getting? Those who thought they are able to buy off the voices of others. And with Mercury here, it can be even astrologers or tarot readers or magicians, or even people that are in the not jurisdiction, um, journalism. Or so what happened is they may have paid to make somebody say something or participate in something. And what could have happened is that somebody took their money and did the other thing, the other way around. Okay, kind of like if somebody was paid to curse somebody, they took the money and then they say, may the misfortune be sent to those who are the original perpetuators of the misfortune. And in that way, they both don't put themselves in a situation where they say, no, I don't take the money, and then they could be harmed, or but also they don't disclose that they did that, and in that way they take the money, and what's happening is actually backfiring. And if anybody will complain to them, they would say, well, those trajectories, or they can say, I will take your money, but I have to warn you that if you're sending that to a person that is not on the trajectory of perpetuating evil, the most that will happen is that they will become aware or receive guidance, but it's not going to harm them, and it could backfire on you, which I cannot avoid. So, so if it can either be something like that, and then when a person wants to come to complain and so on, they don't have anything to complain to because all that they paid for seem to have been taking place, whether it's the words, the symbols, the things that they wanted to put in place and so on. But the magic is backfiring on the original sender, and of course, if somebody like really actually went along with trying to curse another without safeguarding themselves with saying, hey, if that's an innocent person, then may that be sent to the original sender or any form of something that would guard the practitioner. Then they could also experience those ramifications. But any other case, what is seemed to be happening is that people wanted to create an image of treason, but the image flips upon itself, and the people might not voice that, but the trajectory is that those that wanted, particularly those that wanted somebody to be isolated. Now, here is a discerning factor. For example, people in my age are going through, I'm 41, going through the Neptune square. Neptune square is a particularly isolating aspect. It doesn't mean that you did anything harm. It just means that it tends to isolate people and have this gnosis where whatever Neptune crosses, people might go both isolated and go viral. Okay, it's the juxtaposition, and that doesn't mean that okay. So if you're going through a Neptune transit, doesn't mean you did any harm. Everything is fine. You're not being isolated because you did harm. It's just a part of Neptune going through that is creating an isolation, tending to the void, tending to the missing, whatever is grieving, but also miraculous healing, and so on and so forth. So that's just Neptune doing Neptune. However, those that don't have any Neptune transit, and it was an attempt to isolate them, or even those that do have a Neptune transit, and it was an attempt to isolate them by a smear campaign, that smear campaign went downhill. So they might be isolated, but they might be either receiving miraculous healing or going through the trajectory of Neptune. And yeah, the real attempts to, yeah, Moon is squaring Mars, and I'm feeling like that could bring up, I'm sorry, mucus, okay? And that can simply be, hey, somebody being purging or crying, but it can also be just that weird trajectory, and that mucus could carry. Now, here's the thing, that mucus would not carry like viruses and stuff for the people that are targeted, but it will carry that for the people that try to target them, particularly those that use Al-Qaeda. And on a nicer note, today I heard about bacteria that eat toxins and poop gold. I don't know if that's real, but this is kind of a. I just had to share this with you. I mean, I won't leave you stranded like that. I mean, just some fascinating news. What alchemists try to do for years, bacterias. I don't know if that's fake news or real news, but that could be good news for the gold standard. around the change of currency. I don't know. It showed up on my news feed. Doesn't the world need bacteria that poop gold? And if they eat toxin and poop gold, I mean, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be related. It's just a good idea. Is just that there is such a thing. Um, so from the gold rush, okay, to our topic, there is an alchemy and transmutation of the energies. Um, and yeah, and to those people that may get caught up in those web trajectories of the hurt people, just think about bacteria that poops gold. Sometimes there is nothing you can do about it, but just imagine the bacteria that eat toxins and poop gold. It's a very Plutonian type of biological organism, microorganism, which is such a Mercury Pluto aspect. And Mercury is applying to trine Pluto. So think about gut health, benefic microorganism, and bacteria that poop gold, eat toxins and poop gold. Um, and yeah, this is very good news.